long as she's ready.
It'll only be a hit, so but we've got another hour once you're done.
Right, which should be good. Live, yep. Cool. I need a smoke already. Can they hear me when they're seeing pictures on? Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, hello. Plumbing's also Uncle Bro, no laundry for today. Go, go, go. You should film in. I'm back. Nobody can see it yet, your phone.
Can you hear it then?
No, they can't. You can hear me now. What?
You're not just hitting it.
Oh. Oops. I love you. Right, and now I'll turn it on. And what is that camera doing? Right, hi there. We are live. Welcome to another Thermaltake live stream. I'll be your host this week, and I'm Michael Dexter from SIA Tech Mods. And I'm nervous as hell, so let's get going, shall we? Chop chop. Oh, yeah. Right, oh my gosh, this feels so weird, guys, I can't lie. Where's it gone? Where's everything gone? Sorry about this, guys. Just having a little issue with my screen. What the hell is happening? I'm sorry. Alright, so I'm just gonna drag that. Yes, I know, I can see. Yep, well, I might try that. Worth a try. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness, come on, camera. Sorry about this. It was working fine during the stream. Test stream. Yeah. Good old Nintendo days. I don't know if it's going to stop. Maybe. Maybe it's enough to carry on. That's not right. One moment. Why is it not? Well, there's a bonus. Is that back on? No. Sorry, Andy. Are we back on? I can't see it on my screen if we are. Nope. Brilliant, what a great position to be frozen. And it's already 20 past, for God's sake. You'll have to wait a bit longer. Try to put the computer on power supply, wait. 30 seconds, you say? No, nothing to do with power supply, unfortunately. Well, as time things come. Maybe disconnect and reconnect. Why is it not working? I'm sorry. Video capture. Right, are we good? Yay! At last. No more flickering either. We're good to go. I watched Tim's stream actually. 3 times where the camera died. Oh my gosh. Here we go. What a start. Right, as I said, I'm terrible at this. This is my first live stream. It's started with problems. Let's hope them problems don't continue. Right, for this episode anyway, I'll be running you guys through some of the basics I did on creating this mod. The idea in the first place, it was I just needed something what didn't look overwhelming for my kids. I've worked on E80X cases for a while now. Most recent builds have been all in ATX cases. EATX, sorry. I wanted something different this time around. I've never worked on an RTX case either, so it just seemed appropriate in many ways. The Tower 100 is certainly a great case before you even start on it. You don't really need to mod it if you want a good looking case. Really I wanted something different this time where I could think outside the box. Quite literally, most of this mod is outside of the box case. Yeah, you got to build something for your kids, Tim. It's always good. Hey, I've been back a while. Well, a few minutes. Now you're probably thinking why the Tower 900 wasn't my obvious choice. Well, something probably would have been, but personally it was just too big. I needed something what were going to work for my kids. I didn't want something I could put them inside of. So, let me just look at this. Basically the idea for a claw machine as well, that really came about just between discussions between a friend and I. Hey. Between a friend and I, and it was a case, he laughed at the idea of having a claw machine in a PC this small, but it sounded fun to try, so why not? Maybe it was a challenge. Oh my gosh. Right, so yeah, I'm just getting there, and I wrote a little bit of a, not a script, but just a guideline. Right, basically started on the, literally the base here, 4 panels, tube, 4x4 foot, not MDF, plywood, 16mm, literally measured the width of the case, cut 4 pieces, similar to this. Here's one of the errors I made actually, just simple, you can see on this one, there's simply measure what you need, cut out, job's a good one. As you can see from a terrible jigsaw, don't ever buy a cheap jigsaw, you will end up with curves like that. And they are almost impossible to work out. It's just easier to start on a new piece. Anyway, lots of wood glue and screws. Actually, one thing I should mention is, I don't know if you can see, we'll try and move the camera, but there is no screw holes. Sorry about the noise. No screw holes anywhere visible. Simply due to the fact I wanted a cleaner look. A simple case of you can't sink the screw holes. Sorry, it's blurry, but it is there. Can't sink them. Lots of wood filler. Can't sink them. Lots of wood filler. Lots of sanding. That's all this case worth. And lots and lots of sanding. And lots of sanding. I do think that's all this case worth. I'd have used lots and lots of sanding. I do think plywood is not the best build. I'd have used different wood next time. Plywood is not the best to build with. Good morning, Tobias. Good morning, Tobias. Sorry if I say any names wrong. I'm terrible. Sorry if I say any names wrong. I'm terrible. What else can I show you? Also, there's this here. What else can I show you? This is on a slight angle. Does you not know there's an echo? There's this here. This is on a slight angle. I did not know. Does you not know there's an echo? How bad is it? I did not know. How bad is it? Is it too bad I can't continue? Are we okay? Is it too bad I can't continue? Are we okay? Sorry about this, guys. I'm going to try sort this echo out. Sorry about this, guys. I'm going to try sort this echo out. Not 100% sure why we've got any in the first place. Not 100% sure why we've got any in the first place. It's okay though. It's okay though. Is that any better? I hope so. I just changed the mic. Is that any better? I hope so. I just changed the mic. But do you... I don't know. Just one. But do you... I don't know. Just one. Oh! Oh, come on! Oh! Oh, come on! The other ones are just... No. The other ones are just... No. Say it again after 2 seconds. It's like a double. I'm so sorry. Say it again after 2 seconds. It's like a double. I'm so sorry. Oh, wait. Is that any better? Oh, wait. I presume it will be. Is that any better? Hi, Overchilled. I presume it will be. Hi, Overchilled. Yay. You was right. Check those sources. Hi. Check those sources every time. You was right. Check those sources. Thanks. Check those sources every time. Well, there's nothing else on. There's literally all my sources are down now. Thanks. Oh dear. Well, there's nothing else on. There's literally all my sources are down now. How about that? That literally everything else is down. Anyway, I'm just going to continue rather than wasting any more time now. I think we've done enough of that. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, on about... Okay, thank you. I was on about the panel, the control panel box. Oh, awesome. Thank you for help. Right, the control panel box. On a slight angle, I did that just because I didn't want the old box, to look square as it is. It's quite a square case anyway, so it needed something to break it up. Not much you can do with it. Same thing here though. It's a simple case of mind the mess of this piece, but I'll show you anyway. This piece was too small and never turned out right anyway. But simply screws, wood filler, countersunk holes, you know, and this is half finished product obviously. You cannot see the countersunk holes anymore. They've been flushed in. Originally I wanted it quite slim, actually. I didn't want it to look too much for the case. Wanted to keep it as small as possible. Inevitably though, the controller board for the arcade stick is actually really big, so I had to go back and redesign it. Well, not redesign, just make another slightly larger one. That's what happens if you make things before you get the products you're making them for. So yeah, try not to jump ahead with your ideas. They don't always work. And of course, if we're talking about the control box, we've got to talk about the acrylic. Ah, that's fun. The amount of pieces I broke doing that. Just any old acrylic. 3mm I used. I just found it easier to work with. I was going to go for 5mm, but again, I didn't want to use any material what were too much for this case. It was I had this custom cut, so there were simple cases. Just fit it on. Well, drill the holes first. Work for the controller board and button. Why is my light broke? That does light up. I don't know why it isn't. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, just simply line up where you needed the holes. I do have a square ruler, what were a big help actually, just to make sure they were level. The lighting is actually connected separately to a 12-volt power supply, so that can stay on when the computer's off, just to help give it more arcadey feel kind of look for kids more than anything. One thing I do wish I would have done though, it's a big regret, it really is. The power button, I wish, I should say, I'd have connected that to the motherboard for the power button though. You know, obviously power button's up here, it's not great for little legs. Obviously if it had been here, that would have been such a nice added feature. It really would have done, but unfortunately it's an afterthought, and that is something I'll maybe think about next time if I ever do anything with added buttons. But yeah, I'm mumbling on. Hey, design by IFR. Ooh, some of the big boys dropping in. Way to make me nervous. Right. What else were there? Unfortunately, the longest part I was waiting for this build was for the actual arcade stick itself. The first one, it never even got shipped. They were issued with order. 4 weeks later, I had to contact them and shipped another out, but we got there in the end. Yes, it is a beast. Yeah, but other than that, honestly, it could have been done with not long at all, but due to COVID, kids being out of school, in lockdown, you know, I've not had much time to get on with it, but we got there in the end, and I'm actually really pleased with it, so. Right, anyway, let me see what I can move on to next. Thank you, IFR, thank you. Means a lot to hear it from some great builders like you. When someone comes to watch this for you. Yes. My daughter's friend's already been round and she did not think it was a computer. So that's how it goes. To be fair, even my own daughter at one point weren't sure if it were a computer or not, so definitely on the right track. No, I'm sorry. That's something it isn't. Look at the size of the case, though. Hey, Jason. No, look at the size of the case. It wasn't practical or spacious enough to have the mechanicals inside there to actually have it moving. Plus, I actually did look at the pricing because it did cross my mind, and honestly, it's the case. It just wasn't worth it. It was worth more than the PC by the time I've done. So you know, it was just something I had to step back on and not even attempt, even if it could have fitted. It's just out of my price range on this. And can you imagine if it did operate? Kids and electrics? No. Especially with the chlorine metal parts. You know, if that were to touch a motherboard or anything, then bye bye computer. But at least I'd have a claw machine, eh? Yeah, I tried to be unique with this one. Something else I will show you actually, if I can move the camera. Sorry, it's on a tripod. I have to. Like, this side is the case basically. We have a little prize hole. That should actually move. It doesn't at the moment. I've just had to whack it in there due to it getting a bit dislodged before, so just needs another piece of. Oops, sorry. There we go. That'll do. Yeah, it just needs another piece of material to hold it on, but yeah, that's another story. Yeah, the colours. That's another thing I can talk about actually. The colours. Have I got any sample pieces? I don't think I do. The colours were originally more drumsticks, Swizzle's drumsticks kind of look. They were much more paler than what they are now. However, I ran out of paint. Couldn't get no more anyway. I tried online, everything. I don't know. The company had gone bust. The shop had told what they had left. I really don't know, but it was impossible to get. So, on that note, though, it did make me push for brighter, bolder colours. Definitely makes the rig pop more. So I'm glad I did that in the end. However, there was a lot of problems with the original paint. I believe one was acrylic and one was oil based or water based or something, and they just did not mix. So even after all the sanding, I don't think I've got any piece here I can show you. No, I ain't got a piece handy. But it literally every time I sprayed primer on top of it. This is after sanding, I may add. It'd re-crack, and it constantly it would crack and crack and cracking. It were a case of, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of sanding, but we got there in the end. Everything had to be completely sanded back though, almost a bare metal for most on it. Unfortunately, you don't see a lot of the work what went into it because it is just that. Yeah, to me that would be possible actually. Just don't tell the kids to get it back. I may have to do that. It's a good idea. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, as one with the colours, I just wanted something that would pop more. I also seen Neon Burst, and you know, with them being local to me, it was sort of ideal that we both start up and it were something we could do together. You know, it's good for us both, really. And now I'm mumbling. Anyway, I'll get back on track. Back to the case. That is actually the best thing about this case. It is so small, but it fits such an enormous amount of items in there. Look at the claw. Put it on the street corner, 50p a go. Anyway, I remember talking about the prize hole over here, on the acrylic there. That was just simply the acrylic cut to size again. Place a sticker on it. Quite a simple job. You all know how to do that, I'm sure. The hardest parts actually were for the hole. Anyway, when using this drill hole, saw hole, it is. Again, I probably should invest in better tools. But we got there in the end. Other tools that I used is yeah, for the acrylic it was a simple case. I don't know if this was the right choice or not, but this is the route I decided to go. I decided to get some more of these. Oops. Probably not the best thing to use for acrylic, hence me breaking a couple of pieces, but we got there in the end. Nice and slow did the job. Don't rush with these things. For the roof, actually, we've got an air vent at the back, as I've mentioned before. That's just out with airflow escape out the case. I did put it on without this cut out, and the temperature's horrible. Believe it or not, such a little hole makes a big difference. It really needed that. I also used some 6mm plywood. These were mainly for some of the parts on here, and then the other parts was for the roof as well. There's one I made earlier. I just found this easier to work with rather than 16mm for literally all the parts. It don't need it. 6mm were fine. Easier to work with, saves time, saves money. Tri-step roll. Ah, I've got one of them and all. Maybe I should have used that. I don't think it goes up to 20mm anyway. To be fair, so I still need another. I have the time. Oh yeah. Originally, that is something what I've just thought about actually, what I can mention. By the way, I'm not stuck to none of this script at all. It is literally just top of my head now. Anyway, the paint. Originally, I was going to use a... What's it called? Here we go. Mine's gone blank. Yeah, we're going to use a faded kind of style on the case, and I did do that on the original paintwork. However, I don't know. Do you know, when it come round to repainting it, I just didn't feel like it looked right. I needed to change it. There's still a little bit of fading on the corners and such. I don't know if you can see there. Yeah, I wanted to keep a tiny little bits incorporated, especially on the roof too. You know, as that was my original design. I didn't want to stray too far from it. However, I just feel like the base looks better like this. It does. Makes it pop more in my opinion. At least I hope so. That's the idea. ARGB case. Yep, all this is wood. Every part of it. I wish I could. I'm not going to take it off, but it'd be easier if I did. However, about this height, there's another piece of wood going all the way across inside. As obviously square cut that to match the size of the frame itself. Believe it or not, I cheated. Well, call it a cheat if you want. Getting that level and on a way how to do it. But basically, I'm sorry for what I'm about to use. No, I'm not. Oh dear. So basically, I didn't use a cup. But yes, let's say I did. I basically put the wood frame around it, and then I got the square what I cut to fit inside it, placed not on the cup, but let's say for this instance on the cup, and then obviously on a level surface, everything's all level. You just simply screw the screws in from the side. Job's a good one. There's actually 8 screws holding that piece of wood up, so there's only 8 screws holding the old case up really. I made sure they were big screws, don't worry. That's not moving anywhere. I've stood on inside that. It really does not move. That was my biggest concern actually. I just didn't want the PC falling through. I'm sure I could have built it up inside from layers so it was actually a sturdy base to stand on. There was no need for it. Right, what else is there? Oh yeah, this is something. When it comes to painting, there were a lot of little details that I thought about adding as extras. I did actually want to take the glass panels out off the frames, but it seems they're glued in. Well, at least I think so. They didn't come out for me easy enough anyway. So what I ended up doing is using. This camera's not great, but you can just see it. Ended up still being able to mask it all off and to add just little details. They don't look too much on camera, but in person it really makes a big pop. Just gives it that extra touch of colour and incorporates it all. That is literally on every glass panel of the case as well, so again you can't really see it from there, but it is there. Oh, that's something else as well, the glitter. Well, not, of course, I love using my glitter on my builds apparently, so of course I did it for this one. It's only a very faint touch and it's not really showing on the camera actually, but all down the white corners. No, that's not showing, is it? So I'll get a better camera if I do this again. Yeah, the glitter, it is actually a nice effect. Just sat here now with the lights reflecting off it, you know. It's subtle, but enough. I wouldn't want any more on it. The time is 10 to 8 already. Have I been rambling that long? Oh my goodness. Right. Oh yeah, there's also the GPU colour. That is another part of where I wanted to keep the colour fade an option. That was always on the design. That is something I just like the look of. It looks funky. Oh, my little panda stickers. Yeah, the GPU. Sorry. Right, the fans have just started kicking in, but they do have panda stickers on. Yeah, the GPU though, that was simple enough. Again, it's with colours like these. What I will mention though is always start with the darker colour first. Always the darker colour, because you will get overspray or just bits of spray going where you don't want it. Even though you're spraying directly here, it will spray over here, and you will get paint settling. For example, so in a case learned the hard way on that. I did all the pink first, so when it comes to spraying the blue, I ruined all the pink, and I had to spray it back again. Funny enough, because you just can't cover that blue; it's way too dark. So so much sanding. I know I've said it already, but it's a lot of sanding on this case. Again, part of that was because I used plywood. It's not the best wood to use, but it works. You know, just shows enough time and effort can get it looking exactly how you want it. Yep, the colours certainly do pop. The unique. They are actually neon colours as well. So let me see if I can get anything to. I mean, that don't really make too much difference, but you can see the colours are still, especially the pink, it's really bright in your face. And it's exactly what I wanted for this build. You know, a lot of it was what I could add to it. The case has not got any modifications whatsoever apart from paint. So you know, it was quite hard originally to imagine how I could add to the case without adding to it. You know, I knew the theme I wanted to do. It was just, how can I make that work in such a small case? And obviously, the only way you can make that work, in my opinion, is by adding to it. You know, there's no way how I could have made all this into the case. You know, the prize hole, the controller box. Imagine sticking all that on there. It wouldn't have worked, so really had to think outside the box. Oh dear. What else have I not covered? Right. Yes, the stickers. Funny enough. I wasn't going to use white. I was originally asking for, but you need the light for the U. Sorry, 1 moment. I'll jump back to that. It's not UV. It's neon. So it's UV light probably would help. I've not got any UV light to test though, so can't tell you there. Will be something I will try though when I get around to finding a UV light I can use. Yeah, that's what I'm just wondering. It'll give off quite a nice glow, especially with the white as well. It'll make all the big pop, so give me some time on that, give me a week or so and I might have some new pictures for you. Yeah, the stickers, they was not originally what I wanted. I were going to go for holographic and slightly different design. I did want all the wording on one line. Neon Burst's designer was actually quite reluctant to change it. I am so glad he didn't change it. In my opinion, this works so much better than I ever could have imagined. I don't know. It just works, and I'm glad I didn't change it. It's a neon burst exactly as you see it if you were to see it anywhere else. So, you know, unaltered, so to speak. Did I mention there was also going to be holographic as well, rather than white? I was not going to use holographic just for the sake of, I don't know, I wanted something to make the rig pop, I can't lie. I just felt like it needed more, but once I got the stickers it were an obvious choice. White was the way to go. So I'm glad I did. It pulls it all together, keeping it in white. Obviously with the case being white itself, it does add to it. Yeah, I did have a big issue near the end of the build actually, due to the wood. I left the base in the shed, and we had some rain. Well, had a leak, so it warped all the wood, and the case did not fit. It was a case of simply sanding down all the inside of the case, of the cabinet base, just to make it fit again. That was the most sanding part of the case actually. It warped so much. I am lucky to get away with it, to be honest. I think in this instance, it was one of those times where I almost threw it all away, because like I say, the leaking shed, it really did ruin it. It sort of poured down on things, but we got there, and everything's back to being square, as it should be. This little mascot, that's just an added extra. It's not even stuck in. He's been there since I started the build. It's been my inspiration. Spoke about that. Yeah, none of this were actually designed on paper or CAD or anything either. It was a case of, most of my builds aren't, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see it. I just generally see what I want to build in my head, and then we go from there. So far it's turned out fine every time. They seem to achieve the look I desire, so I must be doing something right with that, at least, I hope. What's the biggest when? Wow, good question. Good question. Really, a lot of it was just working with wood for the first time, not having any of the tools. Last time I worked with wood, I must have been in school, design and technology lessons. You know, that's over 20 years ago, believe it or not. So yeah, it was a case of new experience for me, really. A lot of it was learning on the go. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I'd have used a different type of wood. Plywood is not what I would have used if I'd have known beforehand. But again, it looks fine, so I'm not faulting plywood. I'm really not. It's just would have been easier to work with a solid hardwood. So, but other than that, I would say using the wood was my biggest challenge. Yeah, as the case and everything else, it was just a simple spray job and cutting up. Most of what you see is wood, so it really is just a woodworking lesson. You know, I learnt a lot. It really was a lesson. Oh, that's something I've not mentioned actually, talking about the wood, is the quadrant moulding. Sorry for moving camera again. As you can see here, these edges are rounded. That is actually where the wood ends, about here, the plywood. I've just got some quadrant moulding there, as an extra, this was a little bit of an afterthought. Once I got all the case together, pardon me, once I got all the case together, it just looked too square. It did not look like you could tell it were just 4 bits of wood screwed together almost. You know what I mean? It was not a look. It was not a look I wanted. So after much looking around, I found some quadrant moulding from my local DIY store and cut that to size. A bit more wood glue. Wood glue and wood filler. That's been my best friend on this build. What is... You've got some good questions. Right, if there was anything you could change. I think I literally just covered that. I would change the wood. Would I change anything else? I don't think I would. Even now, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's just the wood would have made it a bit easier to work with. Easier to sand, not so much sanding even. No, I really don't think I'd change anything other than the wood. Should be happy about that, really. Right, Oh, I did mention though, I would wire the arcade button up for the power switch. That is something I definitely would do next time. Yes, yes. So I was just saying, I would wire the button up. It weren't that bad. It was just sanding more than anything, cause obviously it's just squashed wood. And it just didn't like to go smooth. I found using wood filler on top of this is something I've not mentioned. Wood filler along the bare back panels before you sand it, and well, before you paint it. So basically, wood filler, smooth it off with credit card or other pieces of plastic or whatever you want to use. Sand it down after, primer, paint. Gives a slightly smoother finish. Well, I say slightly, a lot smoother finish. It was worth doing. That's a little tip I've got to say if you're using plywood. Wood filler and sander. The claw, actually, this claw isn't the original claw I ordered, actually. I did order an all silver one. I'm just so glad the original order didn't go through. I think it sounds daft, but I think the little bit of yellow just makes it pop a little bit more. It sort of draws your eye to the old rig. I was even considered painting them pink and blue just to match the case, but no, I'm glad I didn't. This is what I mean. I really wouldn't change much about it. It's just I am happy with how it's gone. And my kids are even more happy about it, so win-win. I will connect the blue button somewhere to the... Yeah, literally, do you know if you wired that up to a little Arduino or something, you probably could do that. That's on some of the basic fans where they're not software controlled, they're hardware controlled by the button. Yeah, what you usually put inside the case. You know, you basically could wire it up to an Arduino similar to that to change the settings, just as you were talking about. But yeah, that'd be a pretty cool little feature to add. Definitely one I didn't think about. But again, I've never worked with any sort of custom lighting or anything before, so for me it was a case of getting it wired up, see how it turns out this time. I love that idea of wiring it up to lighting them. It would be awesome to change the colour of the lighting just by pressing a button. It would. Look at you coming up with all these crazy ideas. Let me just see if I can find something else. Oh, I'll be able to show you the original colours. One moment. So if I, one moment, order go to top. So I believe you can see that right now. These were the original colours of the case and the original style with the fade. I liked it, don't get me wrong, it just when it come to doing it the second time I just didn't like it. There was something about it, what, I don't know, maybe it's the brighter colours or something, but it just didn't seem to work as well, in my opinion. I mean, that wasn't the final finish, just so you're all aware. What else can I show you then? Yeah, here's one of my other builds. I love doing this one actually, this was such fun. Oh, I know Riz, I know, don't worry mate. I like your ideas anyway, keep them coming. Nice one. See you later. Abbott. Right, so here we go. Hang on, you see my screen, can't you? You don't need to see all that. Right, so basically here's another one. This were actually, weirdly enough, this was based on a cheerleading team. My daughter's in cheerleading. She's been there a while actually. And Scorpions Cheer Academy, that is the name. I wanted to very loosely do a build based on them, but not directly in your face for them, you know. After all, it was going to be my personal computer, so I wanted something quite subtle. And yeah, well, this is what I come up with. Let me see if I can find a better photo. Apparently not. Here though you can see I've 3D printed some clips for the panels. They were just simply from the Thermaltake 3D Maker website, readily available. I must say, by the way, if you need any 3D prints for the Thermaltake case, go to the 3D Maker's website. That is a must. You will not be disappointed. What else did I? Oh, obviously the aluminium panels. I had them cut to size, specially made. It was just easier that way. On the inside, well, actually the metals were just bare machine worked, so not a very good finish or anything. In the end, I decided I wanted a stainless steel look on one side, which meant lots of sanding. I think, what did I use on that? I think I used 240 grit to achieve the look I wanted. You can't really see it in this photo, unfortunately. But on the inside, I also I wanted a, here we go, look. I wanted a somewhat of a mirrored finish, but not a complete mirror. I just, at the time, I think there was just too much mirrors builds about, and I wanted sort of an industrial feel, let's say. But I still wanted a mirror, so I worked it a little bit, and after a bit of polishing, we come up with this. And the power supply. Sorry, 1 minute. Let me just check. Are we still good? Yep. Around the power supply, there was an extra. Oh, I've not got it up here. I also had another piece of aluminium custom cut to size. This was quite difficult to make actually. All I had to go was a protractor. Literally where I needed the holes, the angles, the length, everything. So some on it were harder than it seemed, let's say, especially when you've only got a protractor to use. But we got there. It was a perfect fit. And personally, I just think it added so much more to the finish of the P5. There we go, there's the front. The only time I've ever put my name on something. Here, actually, you can see I wanted, rather than painting all the front of this green, I just wanted to keep the original TT. I wanted, to keep some of the black incorporated more than anything. Because black, white and green. But now I think that were a nice little touch. Simply masked that area off, sprayed the green on. What I would advise though is on these lines here, because you are left with a little bit of a ridge, is get some really fine sandpaper, 1500, 1000 maybe alright, grit, and just smooth off them lines. It gives a much better look to it in person. I mean, you can't see it on camera. Well, you wouldn't have seen it on camera, should I say. But you do get these little bumps, and it's not a very clean finish usually. So just get some sandpaper. Don't need to be anything special. Literally 1000 grit right on the edge. Job's a good one. Oops, sorry. What's happening? Of course, the good old coolant. Can't go wrong with that. Oh, let's not go there, shall we? That's at least one place I can show you what I was trying to show you. This is my second water cooling build actually. It's only the second ever, I know. Even now. hoping to get another done when next few months. We'll see them. Hopefully it keeps coming anyway. But here, I just, scorpion. I wanted to incorporate a bit of a, well, what I thought at the time were a bit of a scorpion tail. I tried my best. So the first time I ever bent a tube like that. So all in all, I don't think too bad. My point is, don't ever be afraid to try it. Tube's cheap enough. You buy more if you fail. Do not be afraid to try new things. You can only get better at it. Right, let me would I change this one to a custom loop? Oh, hang on, let me just change my camera back. I don't think I would. Main reason being, it is for the kids. Low maintenance is just the easiest way to go. I did see your build though, to me, and honestly that looked amazing. The fact that you got a 240 rad on that and a full custom loop were amazing. It really were. But no, in this instance, I just don't want to go for a water cooled loop. It's not. All-in-one cooler was the way to go for this. In fact, the temperatures are amazing as well. Let me just see hardware. HW monitor. I'm actually streaming from this PC. Right now, the temperature is 41 degrees. It does not need any extra cooling. It is something what did concern me at first. However, when you take a look at the case, you can see it really doesn't lack cooling. Or, the sides have got grills on, the bottom's got grills on all the way around. It's actually quite a good case for keeping your CPU cool. Even my GPU, this is RX 480, and it has always ran hot. But even in this case, the fans barely spin. Right now I'm streaming, and the fans have stopped spinning, which might not sound much, but when it was in another case, it did actually spin so much more. Just in general, even watching YouTube videos, it would spin so loud. So, the case isn't as bad as people may all think for air cooling. It definitely isn't. It is doable by all means, and what I would recommend it. It's also a lot easier than a custom loop. What's my GPU at? GPU is a little warm, 54. But yeah, all in all, it's a very well designed case. It really is. Credits to TT for that. It made a wonderful case for us to work with. So Denver, is that you? Right, have I missed anything? Alright, cool. Yeah, a good point what I probably should mention is on some of the final photos you may have seen that I had items in the case. Well, you need a fan grill. Don't forget your fan grills. We don't want things being chewed up. Has it been over an hour? Yes, it is. Is that good? Oh. I did originally, one thing I haven't mentioned, I originally did want blue and pink custom cables, but I just couldn't get hold of the ones I wanted in time. I didn't want solid stripes, I wanted some sort of pattern on each individual cables. But I just couldn't get it in time, so I've had to use Cable Mod white cables. They fit the build perfectly. They don't look out of place. It actually keeps it clean in my opinion rather than making it look busy. Yes, always a few delays. I'm sorry about that. I tried. The test stream went good though. You probably won't want to rewatch me. I'm sure. Right, I think we'll finish up the stream then. Is there anything else you want to ask before we cut this off? I'm happy to cover anything else if you... Oh, a square ruler. That's one thing I didn't mention. Square ruler. Obviously to get the squares perfectly 90° is what you need. But anyway, I don't see any more questions. Thank you for having me. Thank you for bearing with me. Alright. There we go then. Thank you very much. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you, MP Customized. No, you're welcome. Have a good day.